History would be a wonderful thing if only it were true. Probably my favorite expression, shibboleth, whatever, of all time. History would be a wonderful thing if only it were true. And if you think that you have received resistance from your version of immunology, vaccine studies, health, safety, biomedical tyranny, biomedical martial law, virology, health, pandemics, if you think that you and others have received a resistance from those individuals who take umbrage at your daring to concoct or believe or come up with some alternate version of not what you're being told or sold, but what the accepted story is, you have no idea unless and until you deal with history. 34 years ago today, actually between April 15th of 89 and June 4th, the Tiananmen Square protests and massacre. Wikipedia says estimates of the death toll vary from several hundred to several thousand people. This was the national movement inspired by the Beijing protest. It's sometimes called the 89 Democracy Movement or the Tiananmen Square Incident. I just recorded, just reviewed on my, I'm sorry to say this, on my private channel where I can only speak this language to adults. If you're on Twitter, if you're on social media, drop it down, I'm sorry to say, to the 6th grade level, maybe, and speak in terms of happy ending, Walt Disney, beautiful. Always stick with the accepted tropes and memes, unless it's with Trump, and then you can just trash him, whatever you want. But let me just tell you something. It's one of those times when you say, oh my God. If you paid any attention to the information that is right in front of you, you don't even have to look. You don't have to go to that dark web or nothing. You would be absolutely, without a doubt, you would be, you would say, I can't believe it. I just nodded my head. I just took the story. And if it's about somebody that you now don't like, China, Russia, you don't even ask any questions. Any bad news regarding China, that's it. You don't even question it because they are the consummate evil. And when you say this to people, listen to what I'm telling you. They will say to you, what are you, a sympathizer? This is the way it works. This is why you don't discuss it here. I don't discuss anything on this. Never, ever, ever, ever. But I can give you little hints. I can make you think about stuff. I can say, oh, that's interesting. And it applies to everything. Remember, the news story you're given is never the truth. It's what they want you to believe. Let me say that again. Let me slow it down. The stories that you receive as truth are not the truth, are not reports. They are the storyline they want you to accept. Either you understand that or you don't. If you don't understand this, go to Harris, what's her name, Faulkner and Fox and CNN and the usual suspects and Wikipedia and all that. Rule number 1. Let me ask some questions. Disinformation, psychological operations, intelligence operations, CIA, disinfo from Mossadegh on, going into a country, fomenting, outpour. People say, what are you talking about? It's like going back. See, and already, with all due respect, people are just saying things and they don't know what they're saying. They're just reacting. It's like, yeah, no. That's not it. You see what's happening? Let me stop right there. You hate research. When I mean you, I mean everybody. You hate it. You despise it. You're not taught to learn. You don't learn things. You hate education. You hate being an autodidact. You think you know. You love headlines. You love bumper stickers. You love cookie cutter, kind of like echo chamber stuff. But you hate research. Dear God, you don't do research. You never do it. You never hear anybody say, what's funny, this weekend I did some research. Never. No, it's just reaction. And again, just forget you. Just move you out of the way. They react so stupidly. It's like, what am I wasting my time for? I'm not going to waste my time here. I'm going to put it on my private channel, Lionel Media. Talk there. Those people are going to say, keep going. There's a hardcore truth element you're not going to see here. There's a real hardcore. It's like when you were in music. There was when punk came along and the real hardcore, like very, very. What am I trying to say? People who were into really hardcore rock music, hardcore. There's different gradations. They kind of like a little bit of the truth, but not too much. And then you have these people who think that Bobby Kennedy is just, oh my God, this is a radical. Bobby Kennedy's nothing. He's not even close to being a radical. He's better. Look, if that's what you think is radical, good for you. Great. I told you I've been listening to jazz my whole life and have been reading Downbeat forever. And around the late 70s, early 80s, when this kind of like cool jazz came along, I'm thinking, what are you talking? This isn't cool. This isn't cool. Go to Europe. You had to go to Europe to hear jazz, not here. Just like the Brits brought blues back to us, the jazz, really important jazz, was in Europe. That's where it was. So Americans, we really, how do we say this? We think that like there's this Alex Jones, like that's real truthy. No, that's almost like, okay, that'll do it. Alex Jones is to, what I want to talk about in truth, what the Honeybees were and the Wellingtons to the Beatles. And if you can understand that, you got my respect. We need to take people to school. We need a summer school program. Strip you from all of your bias. Tell you how to think. You're not thinking right. And they've got you. And I'm sorry. They've got you nailed into this. They've got you into thinking that somehow Jordan Peterson or I don't know what, that this matters, and believe it or not, the ones who really have done more, you're going to laugh at this, is Joe Rogan. He has come closer than most people to what's going on. But let's go back to this. First, remember, the news, the accepted news, is not the truth, but what they want you to understand. And what they are, who they are, that's the million-dollar question. And we come up with names just like Boogeyman, bad guys. Let me go back to China. What is China? First question, is China evil? Question number one, let me ask you a question. Is China, not Chinese people, Chinese government, is China evil? When you see all those people, Xi Jinping and others, are they evil? Almost psychopathic. No sense of humanity, no sense of order, no sense of democracy, no sense of nothing. Just this totalitarian, communist, horrible, enslaved, prison, horrible, this hell on earth where Uyghurs and Falun Gong and death camps and organ harvesting and just this horrible slave labor and the whole, no freedom, no nothing, no. Who believes that? I wouldn't want to live there. I don't want to live in Dubuque. That's not the issue. Remember, listen to my question. Listen to my question. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm curious as to what you write. Because you tell me. Because you are the most enlightened. You're the most enlightened. And I'm seeing stuff from you. It's like, oh, dear God. If this is the most enlightened. Oh, we got a lot of work to do. Let me give you an example of some very quickly. There was this stupid article on Drudge Report. Somebody wrote, people who live to be over 100, what do they have in common? And the answer was, they're positive and they have good attitude or something like that. And this author said, and that's the secret to a good life. No. You said, what did they have in common? That didn't cause the longevity. That's what they had in common. Well, they also didn't smoke. So does smoking kill people? You can't say that. They also don't dance. They don't exercise. At 100 years old, they don't exercise. They don't dance. They don't sing. Many of them can't talk. So is talking a part of this? And if you're in 100 years old and you have, let's say, some kind of a terminal metastatic cancer, you're not going to be in a good mood. So it's not that the good mood made you live longer. If you're healthy, you're in a good mood. So again, it just goes to show you, people there's no critical thinking. They don't know what came first. There's no nothing. We don't know how to, whether it's Epstein, 9/11, Vietnam, Tiananmen Square, health, virology, name it. We don't get it. People are people everywhere. I'm reading some of your comment. Yes. Ask a Chinese who has fled the oppression. Yes. What about people who have not fled the oppression? And am I asking whether China is heaven on earth? No. What about people who fled New York? A friend of mine just fled. We're talking about fleeing. There are people my friend who lived in L.A., West Hollywood forever. He said, I can't take it anymore. Other people love it. This is important. And with all due respect, people don't want to answer this question because nobody will ever say this. This is the one answer you will never, ever, ever hear from an American. Ever. in particular, and I don't know other countries, you'll never hear, I don't know anything about this. I've never studied this. I don't know the first thing about this. I don't know anything about this. I know nothing about this. Nothing. Here's your story. A bunch of students got together and said, we want democracy. These tanks came in, pulped them, basically crushed them, and that one dude standing in front, with a takeout in front of them, that's it. And it was a massacre, thousands killed in Tiananmen Square, merely because they wanted freedom. That's the story, right? That's the story. And Americans say, good enough for me. Do you want to look into that? No. Are you interested in that? No. You're not interested. Do you know who Deng Xiaoping is? I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you remember? Did you ever hear what the WikiLeaks cable said about that? Did you ever see what Nicholas Kristof said about that? It's right there. Did you ever see what the Chilean diplomat said about this? And by the way, these were anti-communist folks. So when they write something that's kind of positive, it means something. Do you see what they had to say about this? Anybody? Any idea? No. No idea. No idea. I had no idea what the Chilean... None. Okay. Would you like to look into this story? No. That's America. And in my school, my re-education, the first thing is, I don't believe anything until I research it. In fact, what the official story is, the official narrative, switch it. Switch it. Switch it. It's almost the opposite. I can almost guarantee you the opposite. And Americans in particular do not study this. They don't understand this. And they can never put a country into position. They can never say, you are not going to come over to our country and open it up to your democracy so that you imperialists, whatever, can come in and loot it, take our treasure, with world banks and you're not going to do this. People will say, what are you talking about? We are this thing. We are going to be so... Right now, artificial intelligence is ready to just destroy us. And people are saying, I think I might lose my job. That's as deep as it gets. Really? Yeah. Did you hear about the drag queen? What? Oh, here's another one too. You're going to love this one. There is a story that is so... and I talk about this, again, not here, not on YouTube. Sorry. You can only go so far. The drag ban was ruled unconstitutional, and it's the biggest piece. It was the worst legislation anybody's ever read. The court said that this law is unconstitutionally vague and substantially overbroad. There's no question that obscenity is not protected by the First Amendment. But there is a difference between material that is obscene in the vernacular and material that is obscene under the law. This is what people, obscene, filthy, pornographic, those aren't legal terms. Obscenity is not protected. The First Amendment protects everything except obscenity. Simply put, the majority of the Supreme Court has held that sexually explicit, but not obscene, speech receives no less protection than political, artistic, or scientific speech. Listen to this. The law would have banned adult cabaret performances from public property or anywhere minors might be present. Performers who broke the law risk being charged with a misdemeanor or a felony for a repeated offense. Listen to this. A female performer wearing an Elvis Presley costume under the statute and mimicking Elvis would be at risk of punishment under the drag law because they would be considered a male impersonator. I'm reading some other great stuff. It's just the most. Oh, yet Tennessee's Republican legislature came up with this anti-drag thing. The word drag doesn't really appear in the statute. Instead, they changed the state's definition of adult cabaret to mean adult-oriented performances that are harmful to minors. And male or female impersonators were classified as a form of adult cabaret. This is the biggest bunch of constitutional garbage anybody has ever seen. But yet, this anti-drag lunacy, which is perfect, you're being dragged, no pun intended, into this. And it is just like Matt Walsh, Riley Gaines. That's all the focus you need. I got it. Men dressed as women. I got it. That I understand. Tiananmen Square, I don't got time for that. But this, yes. I got it. Yes, I hate drag. We hate drag. Yeah. Woo. This is the biggest stupid story there is. It's dumb. It's ridiculous. And the only reason it works, it's a distraction. It's almost like controlled opposition. It's a distraction. It's low-hanging fruit. So that these jadrools on Fox News can sit there and feed the public's insatiable curiosity about drag. What a drag. Oh, my God. I got it. Our kids. You don't care about kids. Well, that's true. Don't give me this business about you care about kids. You don't care about kids. You care more about dogs. America cares more about stray dogs than kids. This is the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. It's insane. And it's and then you meet people. This is my favorite. This is part of my summer camp. I want to teach adults, not kids, adults. I want you to look at things and read them like instrument rated. I don't want you to care about who it is. I want you to look at DeSantis and Trump and not say, "Ew, stop it." Because everybody looks to Trump kind of like he's their boyfriend or something. I don't know what the word is. I'm not sure what it is. Trump is going to be indicted with this Mar-a-Lago stuff. And when he is, that's it. This isn't that little case about this stupid Alvin Bragg case. This is obstruction of justice, and they're going to flip and turn and scare the hell out of his lawyers, and they're going to have him saying, "Yeah, I knew I had it," and they're going to have him at some point lying, misrepresenting something regarding an active investigation, and I'm telling you, they're going to get him. Whether it's prison, I don't know about prison, but they're going to indict him, and if they're going to indict him, they're going to convict him. And you can sit there all you want, and you can say, "Well, I think that's terrible." Great. "Well, I think they're just after him." Great. He's just doing a good job. Great. DeSantis is a stiff. Terrific. Means nothing. Do you want to comment on this? I have no idea. Have you read this? No, I haven't read. I don't read things. Quit asking me about Tiananmen Square. What? Obstruction of justice. I don't even know what that is. I didn't read the statute in Louisiana. Tennessee. I don't read. You don't understand something. I'm an American. I don't read things. I don't read. I don't investigate. I don't research. I don't care. I don't read. I just react. I sit in my beanbag chair. I'm covered in Cheeto dust, and I watch, and I just, and they throw things at me, and I just react. I swipe, or I click, or I like. I don't move. I react. You tell me what the diet of news is. I don't do this. I don't say anything. I don't react. I'm American. You don't understand it. And there are these stories I hear. Do not veer from this story. I mentioned this before. Maybe I did. I don't know if maybe it was because on my private, I just did this. But Ask somebody this. Next time you're at a big meeting, especially if you have older folks, ask them this question. If we weren't in World War II, let's assume the United States weren't in World War II at all, could the Russians have beaten the Axis or Germany? I'll just leave it at that. I won't say the other word because you can't say certain words because of algorithms and oh my God. Can you believe this? I'm not kidding you. Ask that question. Barbarossa, Eastern Front. Was that the end of the German onslaught, or was it D-Day? Was that it? Did D-Day do it? If there was no D-Day, if they were there, would everybody be speaking German today? Watch that question, listen to that, and right now, people will sit back and they'll say, well, and they'll react to what I said. They won't even say it. Well, I don't really know that much about that. Let me see. Let me do some research. Never! I'll answer you. Why? On social media. You don't sit there and say, I'm going to read up. Read up? No, I know everything. I know about viruses, constitutions. I know about history, law, medicine, diet, sports, everything. Psychology, crime, everything. I know everything. I don't ask any questions. We're the greatest. We're the United States. Yay! We beat everybody. Yay! We're it. We're the best. We don't... What kind of stupid question is that? Dear God, no. And what happens is, you'll never be able to understand how liberating it is for you to take our country and separate the government from who we are. Remove the government and iterations. CIA, Allen Dulles, Kermit Roosevelt, Operation Ajax, post-World War II, post CNN, post CIA, that kind of, Gladio. Oh, Gladio. Ask people, you heard about Gladio? Operation Gladio? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. Operation Northwoods? I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever. I don't know. I want to talk about that drag thing. Did you see that drag thing? And how about that Target? You want to talk about Target some more? Do you, seriously, who cares about Target? I mean, I'm asking you, and I don't want to be, God forbid, do you care about Target? Do you care about Dylan Mulvaney? Does Bud Light mean anything to you? Does anything mean anything to you? Do you care about that? Who cares about Target? Who cares about NASCAR, Target, the Grand Ole Opry, Lego, Kohl's, North Face, Chick-fil-A? Who? Who cares? Seriously. Who is... what do you care? If Target decides to do, okay. Well, the protesters at Target, okay. Budweiser, Bud Light, they are laughing. You know the woman with the teeth? Whatever her name is, whose name I cannot pronounce or remember. This is the one who sat there, with the wet hair and the Zoom. This was the, whatever, she goes, we're trying to get a frat party. She could eat an apple through a picket fence. Do you know the one? Did you ever see this one? Remember her? She's a genius. They're going to say, let me just tell you something right now. Anheuser-Busch, nobody knew about Bud Light. It was Budweiser, Bud Light, Budweiser, Bud Light. Now, Bud Light's the biggest name. Don't let anybody fool you. Bud Light, top of mind. Bud Light. It's the biggest name there is. And you can say, well, what about market share. Forget about it. Market cap, we don't care about that. Well, what about the stockholder? Why don't you think there's been no shareholder derivative suits? None. What do you care about that? Go ahead, I don't care. Who cares? Who cares? There's so much going on right now that matters, and they're worried about, can you believe they did this Bud Light? I'm nonplussed. Nonplussed. I don't fit in anymore. Oh my God. And I talk to people, and it's like, let me just explain to you what's going on here. Most people, okay, this is the pyramid, all right? I'm not sure what part of the pyramid, but I'd say a good 75% doesn't care about anything, doesn't vote, has no clue. Love social media for TikToks and all that dancing. They do this dance and they, or hey, look at this, there's a kitten and asleep and this is great. Or sports, or TV or something like that. I don't know what it is. This is 75%. I'm just giving you a number. Might be 80, but that's most people. So just forget the money. Of the 25% that's left, the ones who, quote, care, their headline, bumper sticker, playbook, Fox News, CNN, headline care. They know a little bit about just the, hey, did you hear that Joe Biden fell? That kind of stuff. That's what they know. So that's maybe 20%. The 5%, now we're getting someplace. These are the people who say, well, there's more to it than that. These are the people who might go a little further, who might want to read a little bit more, who might. And of that percentage, they will prove to be the most aware, but they will know the current mythology. They'll know the headline stuff. They won't really know the truth behind, well, what did this mean? And what was this really about? They're never going to stray from that. The tiniest percentage of them all, believe it or not, and you might think differently, but the tiniest percentage who could make the most difference are the ones who don't believe anything. That's my target. That's who I want to talk to. They don't believe any of this stuff. They're open-minded. They are not committed to a political party, to a candidate, to a side. They don't care. China to them is like, tell me the truth. What is it? They haven't taken sides yet. They haven't taken sides. John Mearsheimer talks about realism, and you must understand, when you analyze a country, you have to take away your own version of what you think and ask yourself, what do they think? You have to be empathic. And I recognize I am wasting my time. But for that 1%, maybe I'm not. That's the only, and I realize it. I don't have a lot. There are very few people who really want to sit down and say, explain this to me. Tell me the truth. I like it. Well, you're not going to, I don't care. Tell me the truth. Tell me. Don't give me good guy, bad guy. There is no such thing as good guy, bad guy. Just tell me who says what. That's all I want to know. Okay? That's what I want to know. Now, I'm going to leave you right now. I've got to do more stuff. If you like this, again, I did a wonderful, wonderful piece, and I love this stuff. If you're ever interested, use this link up here, Lionel Media. I don't have to worry about, there is so much good stuff that is out there that is so critical, so important, and so vital to us that that's still what I want to talk about. I am finding that when it comes to Twitter, that's a 6th grade level, 6th grade. What I mean by that is in terms of wide-eyed. You can't, whatever. And there are these people, and especially, believe it or not, the best, and please don't take this the wrong way, the best people to talk to are people from foreign countries, especially people in foreign countries who have very tough histories, where they have seen regimes come and go. See, the thing that's interesting about the U.S. is that we have this myth of stability. We have this idea that, well, we don't have revolutions in this country. We don't have police in the street. No. We have freedom of speech. Right. We don't have, no, you're right. We're the greatest country. Yeah, I know. Do you really think that? Do you think this is the greatest country? Now, when I say, remember, greatest government or greatest country? Greatest government, greatest country. I don't want to live anywhere else. I don't want to go to any other country. I don't want to be an expat. Not interested. Sorry. Don't want to. I am the only person in the world who looks at pictures of French country yard. Well, that'd be nice to go see. I don't want to live there. No. I don't want to do that. Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, look at this. This is a vineyard in Tuscany. Yeah, I don't want to live there. Sorry. Not interested. No, this is Rome. When they Paris and... Nope. I love those people. I don't want to live there. I'm an American. The government is a different story. The government is just, and because I don't know who's running what. I don't know where we're going. And wait till you see what's going to happen now to Trump. And I know most people I know can't figure this out, but they don't see what's happening with Trump and with DeSantis. Look how DeSantis can't go anywhere without his wife. His wife's got to speak for him. He's a stiff. There's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with his... You got to be careful. I don't want to shame him, but there's something wrong in his delivery. There's something wrong. By the way, if you want to see something interesting, I don't like to use the word insanity too much, but somewhere along the line, somebody sent me something that Keith Olbermann did. Oh, my God. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. There's something really, really scary about what's happening with these people. So don't ever do that. Remember, loving your country, I love the country, love the music, love the food, love the people. Love the people. Not all of them, but most just regular. I like this place. And if I had all the money in the world, I would have a beautiful coach, like a bus, thing, with a driver, and I would go all over the United States. Yeah, I'd go to a few places. Oh, that's nice. Paris. That's nice. Okay, let's go back. I never understood. Let's go look at the statue of the Eiffel Tower. Yep, that's it. Okay. I sound like the Griswolds. Like, that's it, all right. You want to go to the Louvre? No. You want to go see the Mona Lisa? No. Don't you want to say, no, it's this big. I'm not going to stand 50 feet. No. Sorry. Might be interesting to go to a countryside or something, just to hang around with regular people. But no. I want to go in this country. I'm going to go up and down, left and right. I'd love to go to parts and just see. This is where I am. I'm a devout, 100% true blue, red, white, and blue American. The government? No. Different story. That we have lost all control of that. All control. But the country, never confuse the two. Never. Remember that. I can't say this. We are still... Oh, and this morning, the music... Oh, God. We are putting out music that is better than anything I have ever seen. All right, dear friends. That's all. Tiananmen Square, 34 years ago. And you don't know anything about it. That's all I'm going to say. And if you did, you would say, I know what you say. Well, why didn't they say? Because that's called a conspiracy theory. See, if ever you dispute history, the disputatious refusal to recognize the myth is called a conspiracy theory. You say, well, that's not what happened. Remember Vietnam? Gulf of Tonkin? Oh, that didn't happen. That's a conspiracy theory. It happened. NSA verified. Okay, well, maybe it was. That's the way it is. But you know that. So you have a great day. Think about what I've said. Remember. And sometimes I know I come across strong, but I want the best for you. I want to strip you down mentally. I want to take you to a boot camp. I want to take you to Paris Island. I want you to go through Bud's class. I want you to destroy these preconceived, ridiculous behaviors. I want to make you this researching fool, this autodidact. I want you to question everything, and I want you to use your intellect and your brains, and I want you to question and say no, and I want you to love to find out the truth. I want you to have this insatiable sense of reality. Like, what's the derivation of this word? What does this phrase mean? Why do we do this? That's what I want. All right, don't forget, follow Mrs. L. Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Do me that favor, promise me. And follow her also on Twitter at Lynn's, LYNNS _Warriors. And I'm at Lionel Media on Twitter. I don't know if you might not like a lot of it, but in any event. Oh, I was going to tell you, I wrote this question, and then I took it down because I realized people aren't going to get it. I said, was Tiananmen Square a psyop? That was a question. For people to just respond however they want. And one guy said, well, were you there? Oh, I see. So I can only talk about things the Civil War I can't talk about. Okay, fine. Anyway, that's where we are. Have a great day, friends. See you tonight, 7 p.m. Don't ever change. And until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dead.